model here. First of all, let's be honest with the public and let them know. And I heard that throughout this video I just watched, okay? We're not omnipresent. We can't be everywhere all the time. We'll try to get there as fast as we can. Several of them said, you're on your own. And that's the truth. So I'm not talking out of line here. I spent nearly 25 years patrolling these streets in this city, answering calls for service and protecting my community. And I need to qualify that as I go on here. So the Milwaukee Police Department is operating with about 200 vacancies. Law enforcement officer, police officer vacancies. That's gone on for years. That's not new. That's gone on for years, unfilled, which communicates to the public, you're on your own. We don't see this as a high priority. We're not going to properly fund law enforcement, but at the same time, out of the other side of their mouths, they're saying, oh no, it's our highest priority, so on and so forth. And let's talk about response times. That's important. I heard that throughout the video. With the City of Milwaukee Police Department, and again, through no fault of the officers, they're deluged with calls for service, and they don't have the resources. It takes on average 52 minutes to respond to a burglary. Okay? It takes nearly 20 minutes to respond to an armed robbery, just under 20 minutes. So we're not talking 2-3 minutes like I heard in this tape here. 59 minutes on average to respond to a sexual assault. On average, it takes an hour and 2 minutes to respond to a call like the sound of shots. So when you hear those response times, and that's just a few of them, when you hear those response times, what are people to do? And I heard that asked, well, what are we to do? Hide in the closet. Run for your life, scream, all that, blow a whistle. But that's their choice. But here's another choice they have, and another option they have, and it's to fight back. And that's kind of what my ad said. You know, you can run and hide, you can beg for mercy from a violent criminal, or you can fight back. But if you're going to there's some things to think about. I wouldn't tell them fire a shotgun blast out the window. First of all, on a porch. First of all, if you're in a residential neighborhood, that might be effective for killing a street light, but that's about it. In a residential area, you might have apartment buildings, high-rise apartment buildings. If I'm walking down the street in that neighborhood and somebody sticks a shotgun out the window and fires 2 blasts, I'm going to think they're shooting at me. And if I'm armed, I'm going to return fire. So you see how they're making a bad situation worse. It didn't say. It's just that at that point in time, and I heard throughout the video I just watched, well, it's going to take us some time to get there. Okay, yeah, we understand that. The average law-abiding citizen understands that. But it's like, what do I do in the interim? Well, I don't know, scream, put the phone up against your... I mean, that stuff's crazy.
You see this all?
Yeah, I tell you, I did. I chuckled a few times here, and one of them was when some officer said, well, get a dog. And you know, I have a defense. As I indicated, personal defense is an individual responsibility. It's always been that way. But we kind of got away from it, and we got, when I say we in government, got people to rely on this. Government can do it. Government, just call government. Government has the answer. Well, now the thing is overwhelmed. And so I'm trying to put this responsibility back on law-abiding citizens and say, there's some things you can do here. That's what I find unconscionable. I really do. That the anti-gun movement in this country, and they lay dormant, and they've been dormant for a long time because there is no public support for the kind of nonsense that they're suggesting, and they know it. So they lay dormant. And when a situation arises, they exploit that. They exploited the misery and the tragedy of the people of Newtown, Connecticut, the Sandy Hook School. They exploited their tragedy for political gain. They have no soul to do something like that. Mine had nothing to do with Sandy Hook. I think that's a shame, because this isn't about political victories. This is about freedom. This is about your being free to make some of these decisions in your life, because I trust you to do it. You're a law-abiding citizen. I trust you to do it. To do with street violence, because it's the type of street violence that I've been dealing with for my whole career. Has nothing to do with the Second Amendment. Nothing. There is nothing we can do in the Second Amendment that's going to affect the street violence that we see on a daily basis. Why? Because the felons, the thugs, the criminals don't care about the law. So when we make more laws and more hurdles for law-abiding people to jump over, the only people we burden are the people who, the law-abiders. They don't use guns to settle disputes. They don't use guns to take other people's property. They don't indiscriminately shoot people in drive-by shootings. So why are we hassling them? If some of these chiefs, Chief Flynn here, these mayors against gun, spend as much energy and as much time attacking criminals, career criminals who perpetrate violence by using a handgun, we'd have a lot safer country than we would going after law-abiding citizens. Okay, so I think the Constitution is very clear. All right, now I'm not a constitutional scholar, but I know how to read the document. All right, and the Founding Fathers did not write this document for constitutional scholars. They wrote it for everyday people. And they wrote it to tell the government, here's what your powers are, here's what your powers are not, and stay there. This document right here, it has withstood the test of time for a reason, because it's about freedom. And so you don't have to get real technical and real, it's about freedom. It's just saying we want to be free. We want to organize ourselves in an orderly society, so here's what we'll do. We'll have laws, we'll have this, but we want to be free for the most part. And that's what I find to be the brilliance of this document. All right, sure, I take an oath and I say I will uphold the Constitution and the laws of the United States and the state of Wisconsin and the Constitution of Wisconsin. But really what I'm saying is I support freedom. I'm on the side of freedom-loving people. Sacred as the First Amendment. We all know how sacred the First Amendment is. I think it's why it was first. But look what was second. Okay, but I think then let's do that. But the anti-gun movement in this country knows there is no public support for the kind of obliteration of the Second Amendment that they would like to see. So they want to do it, they want to circumvent. Okay, and they want to